Welcome back to the Holotables, everybody. Beerben here. We are going to be talking about a theory that I have about Galactic Legends, and a lot of these theories that are going to come out are probably going to be wrong, but I think that what CG has shown us is that we should be expecting the unexpected. And if you're like me, you're probably just chasing one of the Galactic Legends. And what I think there's a big assumption here that everybody's making is that the capital ship, either the Finalizer or the Radis, will be required for that faction, as in Galactic Legend Ray will require the Radis in this fourth level here. So there's going to be a capital ship and then 3 ships. That's what we're all assuming right now, and we're assuming that it's going to be that faction's capital ship. However, the theory that I'm throwing out here is that they could very well throw us a curveball and make it where they're cross-faction, as in we would need the Finalizer to get Rey and we would need the Radis to get Kylo. So I think that there's definitely a precedent for this, as in we had to have both light side and dark side characters to get General Anakin Skywalker, and it was also the last tier where they switched it. So there were 4 tiers to that event, and it was light side, dark side. So that's the evidence, if you want to call it evidence, or the precedent for why I have this theory. And all that being said, I am farming the Radis ship. As you can see, I'm very clearly chasing Rey here, and I'm not chasing Kylo for now. And I'm going for the Radis because that's the one I'm closest to also. I have no chance of getting the Finalizer, and my assumption is that we're going to see the Finalizer required ships today, because pretty much all the time they do updates on Wednesday or Thursday. And what I'm guessing is that it's going to be the B-28 bomber and the Sith fighter, along with the other First Order ships, and then we may see maybe the Emperor's shuttle, or maybe Gauntlet Starfighter or something like that. There's going to be some crazy ones, and there's also likely that we're going to see maybe the Hyena bomber or the Vulture droid. So one of those, it's going to be two or three hard to get ships, just like we saw with the Radis. And in any case, I'm not close to any of those ships, so I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that it is going to be all Resistance to get Rey and then all First Order to get Kylo. But I'm just throwing out there as a potential theory, and it is very much a tinfoil hat theory. It's very much a CG has screwed us, and let's see how else could they, how bad could this get, right? How much worse could this get? How much more difficult could the requirements get? Because what sucks about that being required is that if you go through, the Finalizer is going to require all of these characters, such as potentially Hux, having him geared up to be able to even do the event. And it's gonna require all of the First Order capital ships and all that stuff. So that event, it's not necessarily even that the requirements would be difficult to get the capital ship. It's that how difficult is the last tier of that event going to be? The last tier is always the most difficult tier, right? With General Skywalker, we saw the same thing, right? We've seen it with all of the legendary events and all that, where the last tier is the tier, right? So my concern there is we're going to get to that tier and we're going to say, okay, well, how much geared is your Hux? Or do you not have enough power? You might have to have a 7-star Hux to get there and to get to the power requirements. And the same thing is true with the pilots. What if we need to have First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot and that kind of thing? So you can see the concern there, and you can see why that would be kind of a very highly monetized way to do this, to say, well, not only are you going to need all these Resistance characters, but if you've been preparing for those Resistance characters, guess what? You're also going to have to prepare for these First Order characters too. So that's the theory. So I'm kind of throwing that out into the wind to see to test my predictability skills here. I hope that CG will throw us a bone and allow us to, and then it's going to be the Radis is required for Rey and the Finalizer is required for Supreme Leader Kylo, but we don't know, and I think we're probably going to know in 2 weeks though, because I believe we're going to get the next. We've been getting the requirements every 2 weeks, and we got the last set of requirements 2 weeks ago today. So my guess is we're going to see the next round here, and that's supported by the packs that were data mine that it's likely Ray's going to require Finn and Poe and Rose, and then I'm not sure first order. I think it's not clear what all will be required, but that's the theory. So I'm going to continue to do videos on this. It's definitely an interesting time to be playing the game, and there's a lot going on right now. I think these two characters are going to be really strong, and I think fortunately you're kind of being forced to farm these characters, but we're able to put together some really strong teams with these characters as well. So if we're looking at the Resistance team, you can see we've got, what is this, 14 characters, 13 Resistance characters plus the Jedi Ray that's coming out. That'll be 14, so we'd be able to almost make 3 full teams. That's why I don't really have a problem gearing up Rose Tico. She's not a great character, but she'll at least fill in for in one of those Resistance teams, and then we'll throw in another random character, maybe even Watt, maybe somebody like Shore Trooper, just a kind of a generic tank in there to help. And I think you'll have 3 really solid teams for GAC, even just some backwall teams for GAC, and they'll be fully relicked up, and they'll be tough teams to get through, I think. So anyway, I think that's kind of how I think it's going to play out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.